Hi guys, so we're going to do a little practice. I'm going to read a young person's little scenario, and you have to determine the best character trait. Okay, these are all going to be fifth grade adjectives. And then you are going to check your answers at the end. So I'm not going to do all of them. We're just going to do a couple. We've got a young lady named Kennedy. Think about the best character trait that describes Kennedy. She has always loved dogs. She always had one in her home. And if she or her mom found a lost dog, they would always take it in, feed him, and give him a home until his owner came looking for him. Several owners never showed up, so Kennedy and her family just kept the dogs. Every summer, she volunteered at the Humane Society, and instead of birthday presents, she always asked people to donate to the local dog shelter. Think of a good, juicy fifth grade character trait that describes Kennedy. Write it down, and then I will post the answers. We've got a young boy named Benjamin. There was nothing Benjamin wouldn't do. If there was a hill, he would climb it. If there was a bike, he would ride it. If there was a roller coaster, he would conquer it. If there was a bug, he would let it crawl on his arm. The only problem was that Benjamin knew that everyone thought he would do anything. So he was not always kind to others who weren't willing to take the same risk. If someone agreed to do something risky with him, he would tap his foot and look at his watch until they got the courage to do it. What word describes Benjamin? He does everything. Write it down, and I will post the answer. And what word best describes Benjamin? We've got a young lady named Caroline. The day that Caroline walked into the classroom, her teacher knew she would bring an extra something special to the class. She was always laughing and telling jokes, even though she could never quite get her work done. She was too busy smiling and being everyone's friend. Everyone loved to be around Caroline, and she always had a good group of friends to sit with at lunch and hang out with at recess. Mrs. Smith had never met anyone quite like Caroline. So she's a nice girl, but she's not really getting her work done. What word best describes Caroline? Now, obviously, there's synonyms out there. So when I post, the words, if you're not right on the money, then, as long as it's a synonym, you were where you need to be. Let's look at Ryan. From the time Ryan was a young boy, he knew he wanted to be a doctor. He did his best in every class he took so that he could get into the college of his choice. He didn't have any friends, but that was probably because he spent all of his free time studying or watching shows about medicine. If you interrupted him during a study session or one of his shows, he would glare at you and ask you to please go away. He had never been happier than on the day he was accepted into Harvard College, where he could begin his formal studies to become a doctor. Nothing changed, and he kept on working his heart out each and every day of his life. Ryan was a sought out after doctor all across the country. Very, very much into his education, hard worker. What word best describes Ryan? Harvard, by the way, is very hard college to get accepted into. So if you can do that, you are intelligent. Let's look at Leah. What character trait word describes Miss Leah? Leah's mom just didn't know what she would do with her anymore. Anytime she asked her to do something, she rolled her eyes and walked away. Leah was always doing something she wasn't supposed to. One night her mom had fought her texting her friends past midnight. She had hidden her phone in her socks before heading off the bed. Her teacher had called her mom to tell her that she's been making fun of other kids and telling them they couldn't even look at her. Her mom just didn't understand what happened to her sweet baby girl. Ooh, very negative character trait that describes Leah. Not a good quality to have. What word describes Leah? And then we're going to do Jeremiah. Jeremiah strongly believed in being a friend to everyone. He would always lend a listening ear and give advice that made people want to keep trying to solve even their hardest problems. If he knew that someone was having a bad day, sometimes he would sneak in during recess and put a sticker or two on their desk to cheer them up. He was well liked by everyone, and he was the president of the student council, always coming up with new ideas and presenting them to the principal. When the teacher wanted someone to be a great behavior example, Jeremiah was always the one she chose. What word describes Jeremiah? We are going to just do these 6 as I go over some adjectives that describes these young boys and girls. For Kennedy, some good words that are 5th grade appropriate would be selfless, loyal, and generous. Benjamin, adventurous. That's what I was thinking immediately. Little impatient, rude at times, but yet very confident. Caroline, funny. Funny is a good word, but we can think of better synonyms for funny for 5th grade. Outgoing is definitely what I was thinking. Bubbly, friendly, unique. For Ryan, motivated, absolutely. Hardworking, shy at times, a little grumpy. For Leah, definitely thinking disrespectful and sneaky. And Jeremiah, definitely motivated, leader, kind-hearted is better than saying kind, thoughtful. So hopefully you guys at least got some of them. The reason I'm posting this, so if I, go through the passages, you can always pause the video for practice like Kennedy. Pause it again, reread it yourself, and ask yourself why that character trait adjective best went with Kennedy. So if you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't have enough time to think about a word, you can pause my video, have the passage up, and go back and think about why those character trait words best go with the students that I described. So again, make sure that they are words that go with what he or she's doing in the passage, and look for evidence on why we came up with those adjectives. And we always want to make sure they're 5th grade appropriate adjectives.